Join me today as we discuss life-changing mindsets and routines that have greatly impacted my daily motherhood and homemaking. Will you come along with me as I am making a few different recipes in a span of a couple days? Our daily mindsets and routines over time create habits that can ultimately make or break us. So it is important to use wisdom as to what is best for our own family's needs and curate and cultivate a homemaking system that works without the need of comparing ourselves to what may work well for others. Last week, we discussed 4 transforming mindsets and routines that have been very instrumental in my success in my daily motherhood and homemaking. I saw that it was quite helpful for others, and I wanted to share 4 more. And they can be modified depending on what season of life that you're in. If you haven't seen that one, I will link it down in the description below. I am working on a new sourdough cinnamon roll recipe. It is very easy, and I am excited to share that in an upcoming video. How to be a productive mom when you're feeling unproductive. To set myself up for a productive day, I need to get up before the kids. It gives me a moment to gather my thoughts, tend to myself first, as you can't pour from an empty cup. I wash up, put on some light makeup, and get dressed. Also, making your bed as a first productive task to check off is really important. Motherhood and homemaking as a stay-at-home mom is more than just a choice, but it is a calling. When we worked out of the home, we did this to prepare ourselves for our jobs and took it seriously. And this is no different. When we put our best self forward, that's when we become movers and shakers. The environment of our home can be calm and peaceful, even when it can become chaotic, with the kids laughing and playing and running around. It still can be peaceful, and a mother's energy can make or break that. It is easy to get lost in motherhood, so finding yourself again after motherhood is not only important but necessary. Do something daily for yourself, even if that's just making yourself a nice cup of coffee or tea each day. And I'm going to dedicate a whole entire video to this subject as it is very important. We all want the best for our children and to be at our best when we're caring for them. So implementing healthy and easy systems like this one, along with other ones that I'm sharing today, are great steps in the right direction in doing so. I'm here making a really easy recipe for some spaghetti sauce, a pasta sauce, and I am making 2 pounds of it. I like to make 2 pounds because I make 2 different types of meals with it. This sauce is very easy to make, and I will be sharing it in an upcoming post on my blog. And I just started my blog last week and have so far 2 recipes up on it. I am going to try and post 2 new ones each week. I will link it down below in the description. Check it out. It is going to be a really good place where people can come together as I share really good recipes and all things motherhood, homemaking, and delicious from scratch recipes. So number 2 is plan ahead your days. You can do this with a planner, which I will link a few of my favorites down below in the description, or you could just use a spiral notebook, whatever your choice is, but planning your day is really important. I find that when you plan your days ahead, it is definitely a way to be able to be a lot more productive and not to be thinking and guessing of all the things that you need to do. So find a day or days that work best for you to plan ahead. It can be either the night before or on a Saturday or a Sunday for the next week. Be realistic with each day's goals, tasks, and meals, and work on the most important ones first. This way, so they're not weighing on the back of your mind. To become even more successful at this planning, you can plan the whole year. And I think it is a lot easier to plan in quarters for every 3 months. So January, February, March, and then April, May, June, so on and so forth. By breaking up your goals and having them written down, it makes it a lot easier to be able to see everything that it is that you are wanting to do, everything that you're wanting to accomplish or learn in a very easy and attainable way. So you're checking off your goals in realistic, bite-sized chunks. And not only that, it gets it off your mind and the running list that needs to get done. This could be home projects, work goals, things that you're wanting to learn, and even things having to do with your health, as like in working out plans, eating plans, such as like recipes that you want to learn and make, whatever it is, and even like things that have to do with homeschooling. Just write all these things down and you can be able to break them down and to have realistic expectations of being able to do them all throughout the year. And this also includes planning out homeschool lessons or plans and activities and field trips. And in regards to homeschooling, ask your children if there's anything in particular that they'd like to learn, or plan something that you know that they'd be interested in to tie into your regular studies. And I'm going to be making future in-depth videos on homeschooling, as it is a very important part of our everyday family life. And homemaking and homeschooling can be and are tied into each other. I did a video on this not too long ago, so I will also link that down in the description below. Number 3. How homemaking and our mental and physical health is closely related. Exercise is done through the movement of our bodies, and cleaning is just that, and can be done depending on the level of intensity. Cleaning our home and kitchen alone can feel like a full-time job and quite a workout, and it is. Be intentional with every movement by even exaggerating your movements and even by holding those positions if it is comfortable. Listen to music, and dancing in between can also be a fun way as well, or listening to a podcast, whatever your choice is. The main takeaway is to make something that maybe you don't enjoy as much more enjoyable. This way you're not only being productive, but you're also having a good time as well. And look at how delicious the spaghetti is. It turned out so good. So this is one of our family's favorites. I have shared it already a couple times, but it is so delicious. It is protein packed, and you can make it with different toppings. I put in chocolate chips, but you can also put in blueberries. You can put in some walnuts, whatever you would like. It is delicious and protein packed. I'm really excited to be sharing this recipe with you. I believe I'll be posting it up on my website on Friday. That is my goal to do for this week as one of my postings, and so make sure to stay tuned for that. I will link down below my website so you can be looking out for that recipe, but it has quickly become our family favorite and something that we look forward to every Saturday. I either use this recipe to make waffles or pancakes. Another fun way to stay active is to take the kids to the park, take them for a walk, go on a little outing, and that is also fun to do in between homemaking and housework. Studies have shown how cleaning and organizing can impact our mental health and levels of stress. When living in spaces that are disorganized, it causes higher levels of stress, which leads to higher levels of cortisol. While well-organized homes are not only a stress reducer, but they also give an all-around sense of peace and rest. A messy and cluttered environment in our home can trigger our brain into feeling that our overall life is messy and disorganized, leaving us with feelings of anxiety, stress, and depression. Our home doesn't have to be Pinterest perfect by no means, but it's important to have a clean home to the best of our ability, which may vary depending on the season of life that we're in. Find a routine that works, whether if it's on scheduled days or all in one day or in between pockets of free time. I do both, and I have done both, but usually it's in between pockets of time that I can squeeze in some housework. I'm cleaning some oranges because they're just a delicious and yummy healthy snack, but not only that, they're also really great to use the orange peel to put a nice aroma within your home. You can easily do that by simmering the pills with a cinnamon stick and some vanilla extract. So today is day 2 with my pasta sauce, and I am going to be making a new recipe. I use a little bit of pasta water to just make it not so thick and to be able to be more spreadable, as I am going to be making a pasta casserole type dish. This is very delicious and easy, and there is just so many different variations to be able to make this recipe. I will also be sharing this recipe here soon on my blog, so make sure to stay tuned for that. I did yesterday put too much pasta sauce within my spaghetti, and I just made a little bit too much spaghetti. I usually don't do that. We were just really hungry, so I was thinking with my stomach. So I usually have a lot more sauce left over to be able to make this dish, so I just want you to keep that in mind. And that brings me to a number 4 on our list, and that's make cooking enjoyable instead of a chore. Your meals don't have to be gourmet or a different new recipe for each meal on each day of the week. So write down 10 different family favorite meals and then rotate them. They can just be very easy, simple, easy to put together meals. And if you don't have recipes, there's so many recipes online as well that you can look up and print out for a later time. But just writing down 10 different recipes that your family really enjoys, just rotating them, they will be something delicious and something that you don't have to fuss with the kids. You know that they like it and that it is very good, delicious, and nutritious. And you can also write down a small running list of meals that you would like to try. As I mentioned, there's so many different recipes out there, and I find it very enjoyable to try new recipes and also sharing new recipes. So finding simple and easy recipes is important. Also, another way is to look in your pantry and fridge to plan your week's or upcoming week's meals ahead. By planning your meals ahead of time, it not only reduces food waste, but it also reduces stress. Having your family ask what's for dinner and not knowing is most definitely stressful. It lightens the burden of the person that is responsible for making the meals. So I want to revisit the topic that we were talking about earlier about mental health and taking care of ourselves. One thing I really enjoy doing is reading in my Bible app a different devotion every single day. And the one I'm doing right now is by Daniel Cole, and it is called The Divine Direction. And in this one, it's titled A Way That Seems Right. And in Proverbs chapter 14, verse 12, it says, "There is a path that may seem straight to someone, but in the end, it is a path to death." And following, it says, "When we are not guided by God, we become susceptible to errors and wrong decisions. The goal of life is not to live it so cautiously that we avoid making mistakes, but as we age and as we walk with God, we minimize our regrets. It is said, regret is insight coming a day too late. Just because something feels good doesn't mean it's God." So therefore, it is really important for us to use wisdom and to seek God in all of our decision making, along with working hard and putting one foot in front of the other and not being afraid to fail forward. And this is the final look of the recipe. I am going to put it in the fridge for a later day where I will bake it at 350 for about 30 minutes. And whether if you homeschool or not, I wanted to show this box of goodies I have gotten here from Not Consumed Ministries. I have purchased this myself. This is some Bible-based curriculum that I have found not too long ago. It has been such a joy. We have already purchased from them a couple times. And if you are interested, I will link them down below, as everything from them we have enjoyed so much and they're just absolutely awesome. I just can't tell you enough good things about them. This is not sponsored in any way. this is just something that I'm wanting to share with you guys, as it is something that we really enjoy quite a bit and that we do as a family. There is so many different important subjects and topics. These that I got are like on siblings and how to have a better relationship as a family. And also, being that Easter is coming up, I got some Easter studies as well. We really enjoy them, and if you want to check them out, I will link them down below. Well, I hope that you found this video very helpful, encouraging, inspiring, and that you were able to use these helpful tips within your own life and within your own situation. Of course, depending on the season of life that you're in, all these different tips can be modified to meet your own family's needs and to be helpful within every season of life. And within whatever season of life that you're in, be encouraged. God is with you, He is for you, and He will help you. He is your strength and the lifter of your head. May God bless you and your family. Take care.